Good evening. Some of the country's top rap music artists have been paying tribute to a Birmingham rapper who was stabbed to death at the weekend. 18-year-old Joshua Ribera, whose stage name was Depzman, was seen as a rising star.
So guys, today we're going to be talking about Depzman. Real name Joshua, a rapper from Birmingham who was seriously talented and only in a short time left behind a crazy legacy and had his life taken. Now his mother is doing incredible work spreading awareness about knife crime and all sorts of things, but we're going to dive into his story today. Joshua was Spanish and Irish and became serious about music after getting sentenced to a young offenders institution for theft, and then started gaining a name for himself real quickly in the grime scene. In 2012, he took part in Lord of the Mike's battle rap competition in London.
Yo, let's do this shit. When I clash me, you'll be losing quick. Up towards man, I cruising with. Get to DC's, man, I slew them dip. I'm fire on a track, you like a flat tire on a track, all you do is slip. Savage this guy like a ruthless pit. I be like, nah, Bruce, you don't wanna clash me. I'm too hard with the flows, I'm dark and cold, rude boy, no Ashley. Step back, you baby, mom's nasty. Chest me, pum pum, gets battered. Fam, you won't catch me. Spit fire, but now you can't match me. So don't gas, please, you get glassed.
His only album, Too Real, was released July 2013 and reached #1 on the iTunes hip hop chart.
Joshua was born with passion, with talent. It was just that he found a way to express himself was through music, and the kind of music that he specialised in was grime. And I think that kind of like, for him, with his ADHD and a lot of his energy, because it is so fast and, you know, expressive, that just was perfect for him. So once he realised he could actually do it, he put his heart and soul into it, and it became his life.
I'ma blow with this thing, yeah, I have to. Make my mum proud and my dad too. Gotta stay on the straight and narrow, cause one day I'm gonna be a dad too.
Some of Depzman's most notable work would be Celebrate on almost 3 million views, Reality also on almost 3 million, his warm-up sessions on SBTV, and also that legendary cypher of him, Sneakbo, and various other high-profile rappers. He has a lot more music on YouTube as well, just search up his name. September the 12th, 2012. Depzman's friend Kyle, known as Shams, was fatally stabbed in the leg and had passed away. Around 10 years later, and the murder of that young man, who was 16 at the time, is still unsolved. His mother recently put out a plea for people to come forward.
You take note that I've said this how many times before as well, that you need to come forward. Somebody out there knows what happened to my son that night. You're taking away my son, and somebody needs to come forward, and somebody needs to be arrested for this, because every day is such a struggle for me, and no one knows my pain, and I'm just pleading and begging that somebody has a heart and comes forward for Kyle and for me and his family.
I'm a star, but nowhere near reaching A's. The only time to get a high grade is when I'm blazing on the haze. Got me feeling more than dazed. I've been going through a phase. My money ain't coming in right, so I left my own ways. Now I wanna keep my music moving. On my way to the top and I ain't in line queuing. Fly guy didn't need Red Bull when I flew in. Now these MCs my age are pissed off and screwing, cause the music I'm producing even got your oldest feeling what I'm doing. So what I'm doing must be right, and it ain't gonna stop till my heartbeat goes and strike. All my lives ended by a pussy old night.
This must have hit Depzman in a big way. It was tributes everywhere on his social media. He had put up a post saying 20th of September fundraiser for Shams TCS in Selly Oak. Anyone who's welcome, no bad vibes though, because you'll be kicked out straight away. See you there.
Josh Ribera rapped about making his parents proud and having his own family one day, but instead his relatives and friends are left grieving, shocked by his untimely death. Recording under the name Depzman, 18-year-old Josh is currently #1 in the iTunes hip-hop album charts. Wolverhampton-based record producer Jameen Walters said he had a bright future.
He was on the road to big things. He was definitely known by most people within the grime scene nationally, and in terms of locally, he was definitely one of, I'd say, the top 5 artists in the scene at the moment in the Midlands, undoubtedly.
Josh Ribera died here in Selly Oak. He was on his way back from a memorial concert to remember 16-year-old Kyle Sheehan, a close friend of his, who was stabbed to death in Bartley Green last September.
Good evening. An 18-year-old Birmingham man has been found guilty of murder after he stabbed a young rapper outside a charity fundraising event last September.
Armani Mitchell from Northfield knifed Joshua Ribera in the heart after the pair argued over a girl they'd both dated. From Birmingham Crown Court, Andy Bevan has our top story.
Justice for a mother whose only son was taken from her at the age of 18. Aspiring Birmingham grime rapper Joshua Ribera, known as Depzman, was stabbed to death during a charity party at TC's nightclub in Selly Oak last September. His killer was Armani Mitchell, who had the street nickname Mini Switch. Mitchell became angry with Ribera after seeing him laughing and joking at the party with a girl with whom he, Mitchell, had had a baby. Joshua's mother has been here for every day of this 3-week trial. After today's verdict, she maintained her composure.
There's no justice for Joshua because he was too special and too amazing. He could have had 100 years in prison and it still wouldn't be justice, but there's justice served for killing another person.
I still remember looking at Depzman's last tweet saying he's going to the barbers, and then just kept reading it after I found out the news, and was such a shock to me that he had passed away. An incredible talent, rest in peace to Depzman. The rapper JK was a close friend of his and recently was on a song with Ed Sheeran and Stormzy around a year or two ago, and I truly believe Depzman would have been on that level. Depzman was pushing to 1,000 posts in literally the year 2013. A master of social media, he definitely would have thrived in this generation, been able to promote himself well in the music game. His friend JK has definitely done him proud, and his mother somehow through this has found the strength to go around and spread the message and try and prevent certain situations like this happening in the future.
Every time that I see your face, I feel the pain. Take me back to invasion days. Yo, nothing ain't changed, it's still the same. I miss you, bro. Love you, bro. #1 star boy in Brom, you know. Can't shout you like Com Studio, but all of my children know your name. You're my firstborn, Joshua. He asked who you was when I was watching ya. I said that's your uncle, he's watching ya. From up there, though, he's not here. Me and you back to back, it was top tier. If you didn't go, then you was gone clear. Since so many of your mum's tears, me and her fell out, but the love's there. I went to your nan's funeral, but I'm pissed that I miss your granddad Mike's. DC Studios, grab that mic. Alphas knew what man was like. Remember that club in Peterborough? Straight up remix, man was spite. Flipped on security, had that fight. Yes, got nicked, but you was alright. Drove that home and we laughed all night. I was in the cell when I heard about the row. His time was next, but time won't tell. And he buried depths with his watch as well. Fucking hell.
Hi everyone, hope you're okay. Just thought I'd do, well, it's probably not going to be a quick video, it's probably going to be quite a long video. The reason I wanted to do this video is because there's something I wanted to share with you, and it's something that I've put on my Facebook, but it hasn't ever been heard, if that makes sense. I've never spoken it, really mentioned it on any interviews, but it's something that has bothered me for quite a long time. It's called a victim impact statement. Now, a victim impact statement, for those that don't know, you basically try and put in writing how it feels to have lost someone, or how you feel about being injured. It's just your version of how a crime has impacted you personally. And I was asked to write this. The plan was that I was to get up in court and read it myself. And it's supposed to show the jury and the judge just the devastating impact losing Josh had on myself and many others. Unfortunately, it was decided by the court that I wasn't allowed to read it out, and it also wasn't allowed to be read out publicly. The reason behind that was basically because they felt that there were so many emotions running highly between everybody that this could have potentially triggered people to get angry, and it could have had a really negative effect on people. So I understood, but I also felt that I'd been done out of expressing myself how I really wanted to be heard at that point. So I'm going to read it to you. Now, the other point is that I'm reading it because of the time of year, and I'm going to try really, really, really hard not to get upset. However, I probably will, you know me. Now, 7 years ago tomorrow, it would have been 7 years since Josh was actually stabbed. On Monday, it will be 7 years since Joshua passed away. So it's an incredibly difficult time of year for me and for many others. Just knowing that 7 years ago he was still alive and was still with us all and with me. So it is a very, very hard time of year. But to be honest, it's always a hard time of year. Just being without him is incredibly difficult. But, you know, so just going back to that, on Monday will be the 7-year anniversary. So if anyone does want to post about Josh and just remember him, then that'd be amazing. I know you're all great, and, you know, he will never, ever be forgotten. But as his mum, it always warms my heart to see anybody put a tribute out to him. So that'd be fantastic. So, right, I'm going to read out the victim impact statement, because I want people to kind of hear the impact that knife crime has on people. I know a lot of you know the impact it's had on me. Some of you might not. Some of you might be carrying a knife thinking, I'll never use it, what's the problem? But, you know, for me, this isn't getting any better. Every single day somebody's being stabbed. Every single week somebody's losing somebody they love, and they will be writing a victim impact statement like this. So, you know, it's important that people like myself do what we can to show young people the devastating impact of knife crime and youth violence. So, you know, this is one of the reasons I'm sharing this, but I also am very, you know, proactive and proud to keep Joshua's name alive and for people to realise just, you know, who Josh was. Not Depzman, not Deps, not a music person, Joshua. So I'm going to read it. It's quite long-winded, so, you know, if you want to listen, that's fab. If you don't, I understand. Okay, so I'm going to read it exactly word for word as it was written to the court. So here goes. Okay, so this is the hardest thing I've ever had to write. I don't have the words to explain what losing Josh means to me, as our love for each other was unique. I had 2 children who I loved dearly and who were very different. My daughter was very independent, yet Josh was always very dependent. He had ADHD, which meant he needed me to guide him through every moment of every day, from a little boy to a young man. I spent my life devoted to him, showing him how to behave, how to love, how to respect, and how to be genuinely happy. And he achieved all of these things by the time he died, which in a way makes this worse. All that time and effort paid off, and when he died, he found true happiness. I've never known anyone loved as much as Josh. He was truly a genuine and unique person, so kind-hearted, so full of life, and he had blossomed into a beautiful young man that anybody would be very, very proud of. He adored me, and I adored him. Losing him has destroyed the only thing in my life that gave me genuine happiness. Sometimes the challenges of life make young people shut down their emotions and the ability to show love, but I was lucky enough to be adored by my son, and for him to feel proud of me and comfortable expressing his love, and I will be forever grateful for that. From the moment I woke up to the moment I went to sleep, I prioritised him. He loved life and had matured so much in the last 12 months. He knew exactly where he wanted to be with his life and to be an honest, positive member of society. When you have ADHD and experience some of the challenges Josh did, you begin to appreciate just how much he did achieve. He wanted to work and work hard. He became very successful in the music industry, and this was just the beginning. At the age of 17, after a lot of focus and hard work, he wrote and recorded his first album, Too Real. It went to #1 in the iTunes charts, and for an unsigned artist, it is a huge, unique achievement. I truly believe he would have made it internationally and become financially independent. He was talented and focused. He dreamed of looking after me, buying me a mansion and spoiling his grandparents and his sister, and this was taken from him. I have thought how I explain my feelings of loss, and there are no words to truly make you understand. All I can do is ask you to take one moment and think about someone you love deeply and who makes you happy. Someone that you see every day and you need. Then for them to be killed in the way Josh was. To bleed to death, and even when unconscious, fight as he didn't want to leave me or this world. He died quickly, but kept on coming back, only to finally give in 7 hours later. I then had to say goodbye to my beautiful boy, to kiss his cold, hard face and leave him forever. Just imagine the pain of that. It is unimaginable. To come home and never ever to kiss him again. To hug him like I did every day, to say how much I loved him. I am lost, and I don't want to be here without him. I don't want to find a way to move forward. I just want him, and it is a very painful feeling knowing you can never have what you need and want, and that is my beautiful, kind and loving Josh. How many 17 to 18-year-olds are nationally known and respected by thousands, yet do not think twice of kissing their mum on the face and holding her hand in public? Not many. But I was blessed with a truly special bond of love. He adored his grandparents and family and knew they adored him. His grandparents are old, and he was their shining star. Their only hope before they die is to see justice served against the person who has taken their little Josh away. As he matured, he really appreciated the love and patience we showed him, and he was very loving to everyone. He hugged and kissed daily and always told us how much he loved us. When Josh was growing up, I was never angry with him, never lost my patience with him, and I was devoted to showing him how to live happily. I have no regrets about our relationship, and I knew all my efforts would pay off, and they did. I don't like using words like unfair or why, but he was an amazing and special person. No one had the right to take him from this world, as he didn't want to go. He wanted to live, to love and to be successful. He was ambitious and truly beautiful inside and out. Growing up, he faced some difficult times, and I loved him through every single one, taught him kindness, patience, empathy and understanding, and with unconditional love he blossomed. He loved living and loved his life, loved spoiling people and loved seeing the world, and that was taken from him because of jealousy. It is unfair. If you get a chance, please look at his pictures on Facebook or Twitter. You will see he radiates happiness and love. He had a circle of friends that truly loved him, and they are all hurt and lost. He was the friend that was full of life and they could all depend on. He made them laugh and pushed people to be kind and generous, just like I had to him. They all wish they had been with him that night and could have protected him. Some have nightmares, some are still off work, and others are just frozen with grief. Josh's death has left a void in all of his friends' hearts that can never be healed or filled. The thousands of fans that are grieving and missing him. It is so unfair that one person's actions has hurt hundreds of people. I get hundreds of messages every day from people expressing their loss. I live with my pain and try to see a future without him. But to be honest, there isn't a positive, happy future without him. My only hope is to learn how to live with the amount of pain in my heart. My world has fallen apart since Josh has died. I used to be an outgoing person who loved living. I was happily married and had 2 beautiful children, and I work full time. I now have 1 child. My marriage has broken down and I am not working at the moment. However hard I try to rebuild my life, I can never bring my Josh back, so it feels pointless trying, as I can never have the one thing I want and need, which is Josh. It has destroyed the person I used to be. My pain is important, but what is more important is that Josh is no longer here to live, to breathe and to love. All he wanted was me, and all I wanted was him. Such a beautiful person was killed on the 21st of September 2013 by someone thinking they had a right to carry a knife and use it. No one has a right to take anyone's life, to deny a future, and to take amazing people from their families, people that love them. So much hurt, desperation and loss has been caused just by one person's actions. I hope that the court, realises that no amount of punishment will equal the pain that has been given because of this situation, but that the sentence has to be equal to what has been done. Thank you for reading this, and I hope it shows you a small amount of the love I had for my son. I loved him with all my heart and soul, and now my heart and soul are broken without him. So I know that's a bit long, but basically that's what was written, and what I wanted to read out to the court, but I didn't have the opportunity to. Nothing's really changed. I mean, over the last 7 years, I've done so much. I've done as much as I can, and I will face the anniversary on Monday, and then a couple of days after, off I go again, full speed ahead, you know, trying to have impact to people, to stop them picking up knives, to make better choices and have a more positive future. And I will always be grateful to Joshua for enabling me to do that, because there have been people out there that have listened to what I've said and who have changed, and it's because of his life and his message and his soul that has enabled that to happen. So to Joshua, I'm forever grateful. To everyone on Facebook that shows love, that is always so lovely to me, I just want to thank you for everything. I always am grateful for your kindness. So I know this is quite a long video, but I'm going to come off now. I'm going to take a few days just to face the anniversary, face how I feel, and then I'll be back, and I'll be back to make a difference. So lots of love to all of you. Look after yourself, look after your children, talk to your children about knife crime, give them a big massive hug, a big massive kiss, and take care everyone, and I will see you all soon. Okay, bye bye.